They say every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want you.
Come on, for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Hello viewers, welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am Ruth Awudi. 27th May is celebrated annually as International Children's Day. Today, we have a special edition in which Nigerian children focus on how corruption affects them. They will also look at ways in which they can contribute in their own little ways to its eradication. We shall also bring you anti-corruption stories, drama, ethics and values, and others. Stay with us as we bring you anti-corruption stories. Welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. During the week, the chairman, Professor Bolaji Owasoye, granted Radio Nigeria an interview on achievements of the Commission and initiatives of the present board. Listen to his remarks on the purpose of the recently launched Constituency Project Tracking Initiative.
Well, first of all, the Constituency Project Initiative is about Nigerian people. The Constituency Project is targeted at ensuring that Nigerians get the projects that the government has allocated to the various communities. What's been the response? It's been very good in the sense that we have information and it's out there in the media that some people are going back to site just based on the fact that we've initiated a project to track the implementation of constituency projects. We received communication in writing from one or two people saying, I did the project, so you people can go and check. And in another week or two, we're deploying some teams to some locations to validate or invalidate what is being claimed, as the case may be. The objective, as we've said, is to ensure that those projects that add value to the lives of ordinary Nigerians and that also help Nigeria meet sustainable development goals, that those like provision of water, roads, clinics, schools, those are the kinds of things, provision of boreholes, those are the kind of things when you look at constituency projects that dot the landscape, that's what they are meant for. So as much as those projects are not implemented or not properly implemented, Nigeria cannot close that gap. So hopefully we believe that our initiative will help to close that gap. We also hope to use it to help government to answer unanswered questions. How are those projects doing? The ones that money has been released for, have the projects been implemented? If not, to what level and all that? Government is also interested in that, we know for a fact. So that will help us. Some projects are not funded, as you know. It is one thing to nominate a project, it's another thing for government to release money. So this is something else that we also hope to remove the speculation from. Because Nigerians will say, 2,000 projects have been implemented. The preliminary thing that we have seen now is that government had not been able to fund 2,000 projects because, as you know, there's a cash crunch. So, but if it's 10 projects that money was released for, we want to see how that money was used. So we hope to remove all of the speculations and the rumors around, the project was in the budget. Yes, that's step one. Step two is money released? Step three is, was there an award? Step four, the fund got to the contractor. Step five, the contractor do the job. Step six, was the contractor paid? There are people who are also contractors who have claimed to have done work for government and they were not paid and stuff. So there are many sides to this issue. But what is important is that we hope that our project, what we are doing, will be able to put some clarity into the whole thing. But more importantly for us, from the anti-corruption perspective, is to make sure that the Nigerian people get value for money.
In another development, the president of Students Anti-Corruption Club, SAC, of the New Christian Power Center School, Dawaki, Miss Elizabeth John, has charged parents to encourage their wards to shun corruption in all its ramifications. Miss John, who is 16 years old and a senior secondary 3 student, gave the charge during an anti-corruption sensitization visit by officials of ICPC to the school recently. She said that some parents encourage corrupt behavior in their children by aiding and abetting examination malpractice, while noting that in such cases, corruption usually starts from home. The SAC president declared that corruption was wrong and destructive to society. She therefore opined that fighting it should start from the home as well.
Once you find somebody cheating is another example of malpractice, and this is common among schools because nowadays you see people bribing in schools, invigilators collecting bribes, school paying people in order to make sure that their students get high marks so that they can get more students. This is a very bad thing for people to do. Most people, they are encouraged by their parents, while some are by their schools. When they involve in cheating is very bad because we are in school now, and the major corruption that we should be fighting about is cheating, because cheating in an examination is very wrong and it should be shunned in schools. Because the society we are today, you see teachers, some graduates, they are unable to say some kind of things. That's because during their time they were bribing teachers in order to get to places, and that's the height of it all. When you are a student, you don't want to learn at this stage. It will be very bad because once you grow up, you will not be able to do certain things that you are supposed to do. That's why most people don't get jobs, because they are not qualified. You see quack doctors treating people. The people at the end of the day, they die because they are quacked. They are not well trained. They do not go through certain stages that they are supposed to go to in order to ascertain that knowledge that they need. That's why cheating now should be shunned in schools, in order that everybody will be able to grow up in that knowledge that they need in order to focus on the career they have in life.
Earlier in her remarks, the leader of the visitors, Mrs. Azuka Ogugwa of the Education Department of the Commission, harped on the benefits of good home training for children and the consequences of lack of such.
Do you know that JAMB delayed the result because of cheating? JAMB delayed the result because of cheating. And like what Elizabeth told us, it is not just that the students cheat. Parents want their children to get 298. They want their children to get 280. 260, and they want to study medicine and law, so they will go and cheat. They will get people to write an exam for their children to get them their score. Some people are getting 200, but it is their own effort. My dear, better get 200 with your own effort than not to be carrying 280 that is not your own effort.
Mrs. Ogugwa urged the students to resist corruption and play the role of peer educators by spreading the anti-corruption messages to their friends and family members. SAC is one of the intervention platforms of ICPC for tackling the scourge of corruption in secondary schools across the country. It is set up to recruit students in secondary schools as crusaders in the fight against corruption. The club teaches its members positive values, self-pride, respect for constituted authorities, and above all, integrity.
Corruption not in my country.
Yes?
Good day, sir.
Good day.
Sir,
I'm here in line with my score in the last final exams.
What about your score?
You gave me 55%, sir.
Oh! You scored 25%.
Sir, you didn't add my continuous assessment. If you did,
Who told you that? During rain semester, you failed. It means you have one extra year to go.
Oh, sir, please, I beg you in the name of God. I can't afford to have an extra year.
Why are you begging it?
Please, sir, my mother is depending on my graduation, so I can cater for my younger ones.
But you
Please,
failed.
sir. Let's just meet somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Continuous assessment. I'll give it to you. I'll give you continuous assessment. Huh? Everything. Just
Stop! This is corruption, not in my country!
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
I have a dream that one day in Nigeria, the son of a Fulani man in Sokoto and the daughter of an Igbo man in Enugu will team together to fight an intruder whose aim is to destroy our common peace, and violence shall be quenched by a common voice. I have a dream that one day in Nigeria, a Yoruba man from the west will walk in the darkest moment of the night in the street of Maiduguri along Sabisa forest with no fear of being hurt by his own countryman. I have a dream, a so dream, that one day in Nigeria, the sound of guns shall cease, the explosion of bombs shall then become a story, and none of my mother's children shall then be called a terrorist. I have a dream that one day in Nigeria, a Fulani headsman will have no problem living with his brothers in southern Kaduna, the entire Benue, Plateau, Taraba, and Adamawa. His brother's food will become his meal, and his animal his brother's meat. I have a dream, a very short dream, that one day in this country, Nigeria, a Muslim and a Christian will pray together under the same roof, with one hurting no other, with one seeing no other as infidel, and then the expectation of the foreign foe shall be dashed. I have a dream. I see in Nigeria free from terrorism, free from violence, free from corruption, and once again Nigeria shall be celebrated as the giant of Africa, a hive of tourists and a home of the common man. I have a dream, a so dream, that Nigeria shall be great again. I am Adoga Victor by name, a student of Government Secondary School, Apoi Settlement, Abuja, and I am proudly Nigerian.
That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues. If you're just tuning in, this is Corruption Must Go. To take us through our focus for the day, we have in the studio two energetic and, I dare say, inspiring children who will share their thoughts with us on corruption. Over to them.
Hello viewers, thank you for joining us. I am Jima Aziza and with me is
Chidera Wankwa.
Today on the program, we look at how corruption affects us children and how we can contribute to its eradication.
Yes, with the rate of corruption in Nigeria, it is sad to say that we children are the worst hit by this epidemic. This is because of its effect on our educational system.
I agree with you. According to the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, over 13 million Nigerian children who are of school age are not in school. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, puts this figure at 10.3 million.
That is really sad. As if it is not enough, even when governments make allocation to the education sector, a good part of the money is diverted or mismanaged through corruption.
In some public schools, students sit on the floor, while some classrooms have had their roofs blown off.
Many don't have proper libraries, and the students don't have learning materials. But the question really is, How can we contribute to making our country a better place?
I will say by upholding the values of integrity, honesty, and teaching others. These and more can be learned from being members of ICPC's anti-corruption clubs for school.
We spoke with some children who shared how well they understand corruption and how they have been battling with it at their own level. Stay with us.
Okay, so what motivated me to join the anti-corruption club was the day we went to Tinsel Academy for the inauguration of the student anti-corruption club. The way the woman addressed everything, it was so wonderful, and it was so brilliant that I felt guilty of myself, and I said that I'm going to turn a new leaf from a corrupt student to an anti-corrupt student. That's what it is. And on integrity, how the ways of promoting integrity, what will you do if your parents are corrupt, and if your teacher is a corrupt teacher, what are you going to do? And if they threaten you, like if you say the truth that they are going to kill you, will you keep quiet or not?
What is your advice to fellow students, parents, other people who engage in acts of corruption?
My advice to them is that they should please turn a new leaf. If you have integrity, I'm telling you, it will be great. With integrity, you can go far in life. With integrity, you can be you'll be the best among your peers. With integrity, you look outstanding. With integrity, even if they accuse you for something, there are people there to stand up to you, to tell that, no, I know this person. The person can do such a thing.
All the anti-corruption members, they came to our school and they organized a meeting. And my classmates went, and there were tough meetings there. And when they came back, they were saying about it, and I was like, if they are in this club that teach me things, I would like to join so that I can also help myself, and also learn more things in this club.
I've learned that corruption is a bad act, and we should learn how to shun it, because if we don't shun corruption, it will move on from generation to generation. That's why I learned about corruption, and corruption is one of the things that happen around our society, so we need to shun it, because the junior children that are upcoming will simply involved with this act. So I say that corruption is very important.
Sir, I came here to find out what the progress is like, sir.
Oh, all is set for the commencement of the exams. Let's say about an hour.
I was thinking we could come to an agreement as to how to help the students.
Exactly what are you insinuating?
We would like to pay you for your cooperation.
Are you offering to bribe me?
No. It's some sort of compensation for your help.
By keeping away while the exam is on?
That's correct.
I will report you to the authority.
Report, Ken. No wonder some of you people die wretched.
What did you say?
I said that you are a man of integrity.
Offering to bribe exam official is corruption. And corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
No doubt, we are the leaders of tomorrow. If we imbibe the virtues of honesty and transparency, our nation Nigeria can be assured of the next generation of leaders and citizens who act with integrity, patriotism, and honor.
That's very true. If you're a child watching this program, or you a member of the anti-corruption club in your school, If no, ensure you join the club where you will be taught the right values.
Let's support ICPC in its effort to make our country a better place.
That's our package on this week's edition. Remember, you can make inquiries and suggestions via the toll-free numbers showing on your screen. You can also watch the program on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria. Bye for now.